Listen up, folks. Her body tells the truth long before her lips do. Let's be real. Most men chase the right line, the perfect text, the clever joke, while missing the quiet signals happening right in front of them. You buy dinner, keep the conversation alive, and still drive home wondering, was she actually into me? Meanwhile, her posture, eyes, and micro-touches were shouting the answer. You just weren't trained to hear it. I'm here to wake you up, not to comfort you. Tonight we decode the hidden forces behind a lustful woman's body language, the primal invitation, the dopamine gaze, the subconscious mirror, the vulnerable tells, and the proximity tests. No gimmicks, just observation and composure, so you stop guessing and start knowing. Here's the shift: instead of chasing words, you read energy. Instead of reacting, you hold stillness. Instead of performing, you let her come closer to your gravity. When you do, conversations get easier, tension builds naturally, and you'll know exactly when to lean in and when to let silence do the seduction. You'll leave with a simple checklist you can use at dinner or at a crowded bar. You'll learn how to stack signals, filter false positives, and stay stoic under pressure, so her interest reveals itself without you saying a thing. Stay close, my friend. Once you see these cues, you can't unsee them. Let's get into it. Number 1. Her body opens before her words do. Let's be real, folks. A woman's interest doesn't start with her words, it starts with her body. Before she admits it, before she even knows it, her posture changes around the man she's drawn to. You can't fake it. You can't plan it. It's instinct, the oldest language in the world. When she's not into you, her body tells you that too. She closes off, arms crossed, legs angled away, shoulders turned, eyes scanning anywhere but you. Her body builds walls while her mouth says, "That's interesting." But when she's attracted, those walls start to crumble. You'll notice her torso face you directly, her feet point your way, her arms relax, and she unconsciously removes anything that sits between you, her purse, her coffee cup, even her phone. Take Mark 5-1, an architect from Boston. He met Julia, 46, at a networking event. The first 10 minutes were polite small talk, light smiles. But then he noticed something subtle. She shifted her chair slightly toward him, resting her elbow on the table, her hand near her face, open posture, steady gaze. As the conversation deepened, she placed her drink to the side, clearing the space between them. Her body was saying what her mouth wasn't. I'm comfortable, I'm curious, I'm opening up. Now here's the thing, most men ignore that. They're too focused on the next joke or the next question. But body language is always ahead of emotion. When her body opens, her guard is lowering. That's your signal not to rush in but to stay grounded. Because attraction deepens when you give her space to expand into. Stoicism nails this principle perfectly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Observe constantly that all things take place by change. That includes desire. It evolves quietly, moment by moment. When you observe instead of react, you catch those micro-changes, the leaning in the shoulder, tilt the way her knees angle toward you. You're not chasing signs, you're reading movement." Here's a psychological truth: openness equals trust. A woman can't physically relax around a man she doesn't feel safe with. The shoulders, the neck, the hands, they all act as shields until safety is sensed. So when her body begins to open, it's not just attraction, it's a transfer of trust. That's where you separate yourself from every other man who mistakes that moment for permission to push. Mark didn't rush it. He matched her, calm, leaned back slightly, and listened more than he talked. The result: she leaned further in. Their energy synced, not because he was slick, but because he didn't break the rhythm. He let her openness grow naturally. Men who understand this stop looking desperate. They don't chase verbal confirmation, they read physical honesty. Her body's openness is her first confession, and if you respond with patience instead of pressure, it's her invitation to go deeper. Remember, this is subtle work. One open posture doesn't mean attraction context matters. Look for the cluster body facing you, relaxed hands, consistent eye contact, fewer barriers between you. When 3 or more of those appear, it's not coincidence, it's chemistry. So my friend, next time you're talking to a woman, stop listening only to her words. Watch how her body shifts as she speaks to you. The truth of attraction doesn't live in what she says, it lives in how she sits, where she points, and how she breathes. Because before she ever says she's interested, her body already told you. Drop it in the comments, folks. I've seen this. Stick with me, because the next part reveals what her eyes tell you long before her lips do. Number 2. The way she looks tells you everything. Let's be real, folks. A woman's eyes are the most honest part of her body. They reveal what her words hide, what her posture only hints at, and what her pride will never say out loud. The way she looks at you, how long, how often, how deeply, is a map of her attraction. You just have to stop talking long enough to read it. See, most men get lost in the noise. They try to decode mixed signals through text or conversation, but they ignore the most ancient signal of all, the gaze. When a woman desires you, her eyes betray her. It's not about a Hollywood stare or an exaggerated flirt. It's smaller, subtler, the kind of look that lingers 1 second longer than it should. She looks away, then back again. It's that micro pause before her eyes drop, that brief lock of focus when you're mid-sentence. It's her mind saying, "I'm curious," before she ever admits it. Psychologists call it the dopamine gaze. When attraction hits, her pupils slightly dilate, her blink rate slows, and her focus narrows. The world around her fades, and her attention centers on you. She's not doing it consciously, it's biology. Desire changes attention patterns. You can fake a smile, but you can't fake dilation. Now here's where most men fail. They look for big signs instead of consistent ones. Her gaze won't always be intense. Sometimes it's soft testing, checking. She'll glance at you when she thinks you're not looking, just to feel the safety of observation without exposure. That's how women fall slowly, safely, silently. The real signal isn't that she looks once, it's that she keeps returning. Marcus Aurelius said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." That's Stoic wisdom, a reminder not to jump to conclusions. Don't assume every glance means lust. Learn to observe, not to judge. The power lies in noticing patterns, not chasing moments. If her eyes linger and her body follows, leaning slightly, lowering tone, softening expression, that's when you know it's not politeness, it's pull. You'll notice she looks into your eyes after she laughs, or she holds your gaze before she speaks. That's emotional synchronization. And here's the secret: when you meet that gaze calmly, without flinching or overplaying confidence, you make her feel seen in a way most men never do. The Stoic man doesn't stare to dominate. He observes to understand. When she meets your eyes, stay composed. Don't rush, don't over-smile, don't perform. Just hold her gaze with steady curiosity. Your calm tells her she's safe. Your stillness tells her you're real. That's when attraction deepens from curiosity into connection. And make no mistake, women notice how you look at them. If your eyes wander, if you fidget, if your gaze screams insecurity, she feels it instantly. But if your look is grounded, relaxed, and free of hunger, it disarms her. It tells her you're not desperate for validation, you're present. And presence to a woman is irresistible. So the next time you're across from her and you catch that quiet spark in her eyes, don't ruin it by rushing to fill the silence. Let it breathe. Let it grow. Because in that unspoken second, she's saying more than 1,000 words ever could. Remember, folks, words can lie. Eyes don't. The way she looks at you tells you everything you need to know. Write it down in the comments. I've seen this. Stay tuned, because next we'll talk about the one movement that exposes her desire, even when she's trying to hide it. Number 3. When her movements mirror yours, desire has begun. There is a quiet moment in rising attraction, an invisible shift when two people start moving in sync. You have seen it, even if you missed it. She leans in when you lean in. She matches your tone. Her body begins to echo your rhythm. That is not coincidence. That is chemistry. This is called mirroring, one of the clearest signs that desire has moved from curiosity to connection. When a woman unconsciously mimics your gestures, posture, or speech patterns, her body has started to trust yours. Her subconscious is saying, I feel safe with you. I want harmony with you. Take a real scene. Todd, 56, a retired firefighter from Austin, met Rebecca, 50, at a charity dinner. They were newly introduced, seated across from each other. At first, the vibe was polite, surface-level talk about work and life. Then Todd noticed something small. Every time he took a sip of his drink, a few seconds later, she did the same. When he leaned back, she mirrored the motion. When he rested an elbow on the table, her arm followed. No words, no plan, just a natural rhythm forming. Here is the key. Todd did not do anything special. He was relaxed, present, grounded. That stillness created space for mirroring to happen. Because that is the secret. Mirroring does not come from chasing. It comes from leading calmly. A woman does not mirror chaos. She mirrors composure. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When you are centered, she feels it. When you are grounded, her nervous system responds to yours. Attraction deepens beneath the surface, not through grand gestures, but through alignment of energy. Call it harmony or rapport. It is the same force that makes two people breathe in the same rhythm without knowing it. Here is where many men ruin it. They notice the mirroring, then start performing. They change tone, exaggerate gestures, or try to test her with deliberate movements. That breaks the spell. Mirroring only lives in authenticity. The moment you turn it into a trick, the rhythm dies. Do this instead. Stay steady. Keep your posture relaxed, your breathing calm, your voice measured. Do not force connection. Hold the energy and let her catch it. If she is drawn to you, she will adapt her movements to yours. It is her way of saying, I want to be in your frame. This is not only about flirting, it is about influence. When you are grounded enough for someone else to synchronize with you, you lead the interaction without words. That is real masculine energy, quiet control that does not need validation. Later that night, when the group moved outside for drinks, Rebecca stood next to Todd instead of across. Her shoulder brushed his when she laughed. Her voice dropped a little to match his. That was not strategy. That was resonance. So next time you notice her mirroring your movements, do not call it out and do not analyze it. Stay present. Let the moment breathe. The more relaxed you are, the more she falls into your rhythm. When her body echoes yours, the dance has begun and she is moving to your lead. Drop it in the comments. I have seen this happen. Stay tuned right now, because next we will uncover the one cue that exposes desire, even when she tries to hide it. Number 4. The touch that gives her away. There's a moment every man notices, but few understand the subtle, fleeting touch that changes everything. Maybe it's her fingers brushing her neck, or the way she plays with her hair while talking to you. Maybe it's how her hand grazes your arm as she laughs. You think it's nothing, but it's not. Her body is doing the talking long before her mind catches up. Touch is the oldest signal of attraction. It's primal, instinctive, and almost impossible to fake. When a woman becomes physically aware of you, her body responds in micro gestures, touching her lips, adjusting her collar, tracing her wrist. These are not random movements. They are signs of self-soothing, a biological reaction to rising tension. She's calming herself because your presence is affecting her. Now, don't confuse this with overconfidence. A Stoic man doesn't see these signals as trophies. He sees them as information. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality," meaning, don't project fantasy onto a small cue. Observe, don't assume. One touch means nothing. But when it joins the pattern, the eye contact, the open posture, the mirroring, that's when it becomes real. Here's the thing about touch: it reveals more about her state of mind than her intentions. When she touches herself, hair, neck, chest, hand, she's redirecting energy. It's a quiet outlet for attraction, a way to manage the electricity in the air. When she touches you, though, that's different. That's a transfer of energy. It means she's comfortable crossing the invisible line most women protect. Stoicism teaches control, not suppression. When you see these signs, don't react, don't lean in too fast, and definitely don't start touching back immediately. Your calm presence allows the tension to build. The moment you chase it, you kill it. You must let her reach for the connection your stillness creates, the contrast that draws her closer. Here's how it works in the real world when she laughs and lightly taps your arm. Don't overthink it. Let the moment land. Smile, hold your frame, and stay present. If she does it again, and her hand lingers a little longer, that's confirmation. It's not your move to take advantage. It's your moment to lead with composure. The Stoic man knows that true power lies in restraint. Touch is her unspoken language. You can learn more from one moment of physical energy than from 100 words. The key is not to interpret it through ego, but through awareness. Notice the timing, the repetition, and the softness behind the motion. Her touch is never just physical, it's emotional truth slipping through the cracks of control. Now listen carefully, my friend. This kind of awareness, this calm, grounded understanding of female psychology is not common. Most men go their entire lives reacting instead of reading, chasing instead of leading. But if you want to truly master this level of control, it's time to go deeper. Join the membership. Inside, I'll break down the advanced cues, the emotional dynamics, and the Stoic methods that separate grounded men from the ones who get played. You'll learn how to stay composed under pressure, how to recognize real attraction from performance, and how to keep your power in any situation. Touch can expose her, but composure defines you. Stay sharp, my friend, because the next part reveals how women test your energy the moment they sense your strength. Number 5. She plays with distance to test your pull. Sometimes attraction isn't about closeness, it's about the space between you. That space is where the real game happens. A woman who's drawn to you will play with distance, not because she's confused, but because she's testing gravity, your ability to pull her in without chasing. Let's make this real. David, 48, runs a small business in Phoenix. He met Claire, 45, through mutual friends. The connection was obvious: laughter, eye contact, that subtle spark. But just when he thought things were building, she started to step back. Her texts slowed. She cancelled a dinner. When they met again at a friend's gathering, she was friendly but distant, smiling yet cool. Most men would panic, start texting more, try to fix what went wrong. David didn't. He remembered something: attraction often hides behind resistance. The next time they saw each other, he stayed relaxed. No emotional chasing, no awkward explanations. He held his space, joked lightly, and let silence do its work. Slowly, Claire started drifting closer. Literally. She moved from across the room to standing next to him. Her shoulder brushed his arm during a story. It wasn't magic, it was polarity. The distance she created was never rejection. It was curiosity. She wanted to see if his presence could hold steady when she pulled away. This is what most men never understand: women test through space. The moment she steps back, she's not asking for pursuit, she's asking for proof. She wants to know if your interest depends on her reaction or if it's anchored in confidence. The more she feels your calm when she withdraws, the more drawn she becomes. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Know where you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul." That's the energy she's looking for. When she steps away, she's watching whether your soul stays undisturbed. A Stoic man knows that silence isn't loss, it's leverage. Here's what that looks like in practice. You're talking at a bar and she leans in close, then suddenly tilts back, breaking eye contact. Most guys would rush in trying to regain her focus. You, on the other hand, pause. You let her drift. You take a slow sip of your drink, glance elsewhere, and stay composed. That subtle indifference tells her something powerful. I'm not chasing connection, I attract it. Soon enough she'll step back into your space, not because you forced her to, but because your calm pulled her in. Women are instinctively drawn to emotional gravity. They want to feel that your world won't collapse the moment they pull away. When you pass that test, distance becomes desire. David told me later that Claire's withdrawal actually worked in his favor. When she came back, she was softer, more attentive, more engaged. It's like she needed to step back to realize what was pulling her in, he said. That's exactly it. Space reveals strength. So, my friend, when a woman starts playing with distance, leaning in, then pulling back, don't chase her movement. Match her energy with grounded patience. When she feels that your peace isn't dependent on her nearness, she starts to crave it. This is the paradox of attraction. The less you reach, the more she returns. Write it in the comments, folks. I've seen this. Stick with me, because next we'll break down the moment. Silence becomes your strongest weapon in building desire. Number 6. Her voice softens when lust takes over. There's a point in every connection when words stop being about information and start becoming about emotion. You can hear it if you're paying attention. Her voice drops. It slows down, deepens slightly, and the edges smooth out. That change isn't random, it's biology. It's attraction slipping through tone before it ever touches language. Women communicate on 2 levels, what they say and how they say it. When she's interested, her body releases small surges of dopamine and oxytocin chemicals that relax her vocal cords. Her tone becomes softer, more melodic, more rhythmic. You'll hear it in the pauses, the laughter that lingers, the breath that stretches just a little longer between words. That's desire. Not spoken, but felt. This is where most men get distracted. They focus on the content, the story, the joke, the topic, instead of the delivery. They miss that her tone has shifted from social to intimate. When she starts speaking slower, using fewer words, she's not bored. She's tuning in. She's letting the conversation move from logic to feeling. A Stoic man doesn't chase those moments. He notices them quietly. He understands that attraction is never about performance. It's about presence. When her voice softens, don't interrupt it with excitement or humor. Let silence breathe. That pause tells her she's being heard, not analyzed. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If someone can show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth." In the same way, you should seek truth beneath her tone. Don't react to what you want to hear. Listen to what's really being communicated. A change in pitch, rhythm, or breath reveals more than the words themselves ever could. Here's something subtle most men overlook. When a woman's voice softens around you, it's a sign of comfort and surrender. Her body is subconsciously signaling safety. She's stepping out of defense mode. And safety is the root of attraction. No woman truly desires a man she doesn't feel safe with. You'll notice it happens most when the energy between you is calm. Maybe you're sitting together, sharing a quiet laugh, the noise around fading out. Her tone slows, her volume drops, and her words start to flow, like a rhythm you can feel more than follow. That's when polarity peaks, masculine stillness meeting feminine warmth. But if you break that rhythm, if you rush to fill every silence, overtalk, or lean in too eagerly, you pull her back into her head. The magic vanishes. The key is restraint. You lead not by words, but by energy. Stoicism calls this control of impulse. You're not suppressing yourself. You're choosing when to act. You understand that your calm allows her to relax deeper into her feminine. The softer her voice becomes, the stronger her attraction grows, not because you did something, but because you didn't. You didn't rush, you didn't flinch, you let her energy flow and echo. So next time you're talking and notice her tone changing, the laughter softens the words, slow her voice, dips lower. Understand what's happening. Her body is no longer speaking to your mind, it's speaking to your presence. You don't need to comment on it. You don't need to respond with lines or compliments. Just hold the space, stay grounded, because when her voice softens, her guard is falling. And in that quiet space between her words, that's where attraction breathes. Write it down in the comments, folks. I've heard this. Stay with me, because next we'll talk about how her eyes reveal the fire she's trying to hide. Number 7. The power of eye contact that lasts too long. There's something primal about a woman's eyes when attraction takes hold, that pause, that half second too long, when she doesn't look away. It's not an accident, it's instinct. Eye contact is one of the oldest languages of desire, and when it lingers, it says everything words can't. Let me tell you a story. Ethan, 52, divorced for 3 years, met Laura, 47, at a mutual friend's backyard party in Denver. They were standing by the fire pit, small talk at first, travel, careers, life after marriage. But then something shifted. Every time Ethan spoke, Laura's gaze stayed on him just a heartbeat longer than normal. When he looked back, she didn't flinch. She didn't smile nervously or turn away. She held it. There was a silence in that stare, a pulse, a question. It wasn't a stare-off, it was connection. That's what eye contact does when desire begins to surface. It bridges thought and emotion. For a woman, holding your gaze isn't about control, it's about trust. It's her way of saying, I see you, and I want to see what happens if I keep looking. Now here's where most men mess it up. They either avoid the gaze, breaking it too soon because it feels uncomfortable, or they overplay it, staring too long, trying to assert dominance. Both kill the chemistry. True masculine presence doesn't chase the gaze or force it. It holds it calm, grounded, patient. When you stay still, your eyes relaxed, it tells her you're not afraid of intimacy. You're not seeking validation. You're letting her come closer through silence. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Eye contact works the same way. The quality of your gaze, the calm behind it, the intention inside it, shapes how she feels in your presence. If your eyes project need, she pulls away. But if your eyes project steadiness, she leans in. Here's the truth. The eyes are emotional mirrors. When a woman feels drawn to you, her pupils dilate slightly, her blink rate slows, and her focus narrows. Her entire nervous system is tuned to you for that instant. Ethan noticed this not consciously at first, but through feeling. It was like time slowed, he told me later. Everything around us disappeared for a moment. That's not imagination, that's biology. Eye contact triggers the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It's why one long gaze can feel more intimate than physical touch. And when you meet that energy without breaking or chasing, you create polarity, your calm, masculine focus meeting her emotional curiosity. The key is awareness, not intensity. Look at her as if you're observing a painting, not conquering it. Let your gaze rest, breathe, and communicate safety. When she feels that her eyes soften even more, you'll see micro-expressions, a small smile, a breath, a faint blush. Those are signs her guard is dropping. Ethan didn't lean in or make a move that night. He simply matched her gaze with quiet presence. Hours later, she was still there, still close, still holding that same rhythm. That's the power of unspoken communication. No performance, no rush, just mutual awareness. So next time her eyes meet yours and she doesn't look away, don't overthink it. Stay still, breathe, let the silence between you do its work. Because when a woman holds your gaze for that one extra second, she's not just looking at you, she's feeling you. Write it down in the comments, folks. I've felt that stare. Stay tuned, because next we'll uncover the secret meaning behind the small, vulnerable gestures she makes when she's losing control of her guard. Number 8. When she exposes her neck, it's not an accident. If you've ever wondered what it looks like when a woman unconsciously lets her guard down, it's this. She tilts her head, brushes her hair aside, and exposes her neck. It's small, subtle, and ancient. You might think she's just being casual, but evolution says otherwise. That movement is one of the oldest non-verbal cues of trust and desire ever recorded in human behavior. You see, the neck is one of the most vulnerable parts of the body. It protects the arteries, the windpipe, and the voice, all symbols of life, expression, and emotion. When a woman exposes that area, even for a moment, she's not doing it randomly. She's signaling comfort, openness, and often attraction. Her body is saying what her words won't. I'm relaxed around you. I feel safe here. Psychologists call this a vulnerability cue, a non-verbal sign of submission or emotional openness. It often appears when she's laughing, listening, or looking at you with interest. She might tilt her head slightly, play with her hair, or let her necklace fall as she leans in. And here's the truth: the more genuine her interest, the more unconscious this behavior becomes. Now, a Stoic man doesn't react to this. He observes it. He doesn't start staring at her neck or change his behavior. He stays composed, understanding that attraction is built on presence, not pursuit. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Observe how all things change, and do not be afraid of change." The same applies here. Her body language is fluid. It shifts with comfort, with chemistry, with the energy in the room. Your job is not to cling to a sign, but to read the flow calmly without expectation. When she exposes her neck, she's offering emotional softness. But that doesn't mean she's inviting immediate action. The test is whether you can stay grounded, whether you can witness beauty without needing to consume it. That's the essence of masculine restraint, and it's what separates men who command attraction from those who chase it away. Let's break this down practically. You're having a quiet conversation, and she leans to one side, revealing her neck as she laughs. Her voice lowers, her shoulders drop, and her tone softens. That's your cue to slow down. Don't fill the space with noise. Let the silence do the work. The more composed you are, the deeper her subconscious associates you with safety. And safety is the soil where desire grows. This isn't about power games, it's about awareness. The Stoics believed the body reflects the mind. A woman who feels relaxed enough to reveal her vulnerability is showing you her internal state. That doesn't mean she's making a promise, it means she's showing trust. And how you handle that moment defines the kind of man you are. Most men miss it or overreact. They lean in too soon, they comment on her beauty, or they break the energy by shifting from presence to performance. The calm man does none of that. He stays steady, maintains eye contact, listens, and lets her body language unfold naturally. In that stillness, attraction deepens without words. So remember this, when she exposes her neck, it's never just posture, it's permission to be present. Not to act, not to impress, but to lead with composure. Because true connection isn't built in grand gestures or perfect lines. It's built in those quiet, unguarded seconds when her body tells you the truth, and your calm tells her she's safe to keep revealing it. Write it down in the comments, folks. I've seen this. Stay with me, because next we'll talk about the silent invitation hidden in how she carries herself around you. Number 9. The silent invitation hidden in her posture. Sometimes a woman doesn't have to say a word, her body already said everything. The way she sits, the angle of her shoulders, where her feet point, all of it tells a story. Attraction hides in posture. It's subtle, it's quiet, and it's never random. Let me paint you a picture. Michael, 54, from Seattle, met Angela, 49, at a wine tasting event. It wasn't a date, just mutual friends and casual conversation. At first, she sat across from him, her arms crossed lightly, her shoulders slightly turned away. typical guarded posture. But as the evening went on, something changed. Every time Michael spoke, she shifted toward him, not dramatically, just a few degrees. Her knees turned in his direction. Her arm, once protecting her chest, relaxed onto the table. By the time dessert arrived, her entire body was open, facing him fully. That's what I call a silent invitation. Her words were polite, her tone calm, but her posture told the truth. I'm comfortable. I'm curious. I want more. Most men miss it because they're too focused on what she's saying. They don't realize her body already whispered the answer. Here's what you need to understand. Posture reflects the emotional state. When she's unsure, her body closes. When she's safe, it opens. When she's drawn to you, it leans in, often without her realizing it. That lean, even a few inches, is one of the clearest signs of subconscious attraction. Now, Michael didn't pounce on that. He didn't start showing off or interrupting the flow. He stayed calm, leaning back slightly, giving her space to lean in more. That's the trick. The more grounded you are, the more her posture responds. Because a woman's body naturally follows what it feels. This isn't manipulation, it's awareness. And awareness is what separates men who connect from men who chase. You're not forcing anything, you're noticing. The Stoics would call it right perception. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In this context, you're listening with your eyes, reading what's real, instead of reacting to what's spoken. So what does this look like in real life? You're talking at a cafe, and she subtly mirrors your body language. You cross your legs, she does too. You lean forward, she follows a second later. Her chin points your way, her feet angle toward you instead of the door. Each of those cues adds weight. One on its own might mean nothing, but together they form a pattern, a nonverbal yes. The key is patience. Don't acknowledge it. Don't make a comment about her leaning in or looking comfortable. That kills the rhythm. Instead, keep your tone steady, your energy calm. When she feels that you're not seeking validation, her body relaxes even more. That's when you know attraction is solid, when she stays close not because you pull her, but because she wants to stay. By the end of that evening, Michael noticed something else. Angela wasn't just facing him, she'd moved her chair closer. Barely an inch at a time throughout the night. That's what real connection looks like. Not fireworks, not grand gestures, just gravity, quiet, steady, natural. So, my friend, next time you're with a woman, don't just listen to her words. Watch how her body settles in around you. Because posture doesn't lie. The silent invitation is there in the way she opens her frame, in the space she closes, in how her energy shifts when she's near you. Drop it in the comments, I've noticed this. Stick with me, because in the final part we'll uncover how to read the deeper energy beneath all these signals, the kind that makes her feel you even when you say nothing at all. Number 10. Read her energy, not her words. Most men listen with their ears, few listen with their presence. The difference between the two is everything. Words are logic, energy is truth. A woman's real message is never in what she says, it's in how the room feels when she's around. If you want to understand women, stop chasing language and start reading vibration. Think about it. You've probably had conversations where she said all the right things but something felt off. Or moments when she said nothing at all, yet you knew exactly what she meant. That's energy, the undercurrent behind tone, expression, and rhythm. It's the emotional signal her body sends while her words try to stay polite. A Stoic man doesn't rely on surface communication. He reads the room, not the sentence. He notices how her energy shifts when he enters, how her breathing changes, how her shoulders soften, how her laughter sounds when it's genuine versus when it's forced. These are small details, but together they tell a story far more honest than her words ever could. Let's flip perspective for a moment. Imagine you're talking to a woman who says she's fine, but her body is tense, her tone flat, and her eyes dart around the room. The average man hears fine and moves on. The grounded man senses the disconnect. He doesn't confront her. He doesn't demand truth. He simply adjusts his energy, slows his tone, lowers his voice, creates space. Within minutes, her defenses start to fall. Why? Because energy meets energy. Stillness calms chaos. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." The same applies here. You can't control her reactions or her mood, but you can control the energy you bring. When you stay calm, composed, and observant, you shift the dynamic without saying a word. Her nervous system begins to match yours. That's biology, not magic. This is why emotional awareness is a superpower. The Stoics called it temperance, the ability to remain steady while the world shakes around you. In relationships, that steadiness creates safety. When a woman feels that energy, she opens naturally. Her words become more real, her laughter more effortless, her eyes more present. You didn't force honesty, you invited it by embodying calm. Here's how you train this skill next time you're with someone. Stop trying to think of what to say next. Pay attention instead. Feel the tempo of the conversation. Is it fast, rushed, nervous? Slow it down. Is she avoiding eye contact but leaning closer? Mirror her pace, not her words. Let her feel your stillness. The more present you are, the more her energy reveals itself. This awareness goes beyond attraction. It's about mastery of self. Reading energy requires discipline. You can't do it if your mind is noisy. That's why silence, meditation, and breath are not cliches. They're tools. They teach you how to tune out the noise so you can feel what's real. By the end of the night, the woman you're with might forget what you said, but she'll never forget how she felt around you. That's your legacy. Not your words, not your stories, your energy. So, my friend, stop chasing explanations and start observing sensations. Because when you learn to read her energy, not her words, you stop guessing and start leading. That's what real masculinity feels like. Quiet power, calm awareness, the kind of presence that doesn't need to speak to be understood. So folks, what we've uncovered today isn't just about reading women. It's about understanding human nature at its core. You learned that her words might hide the truth, but her energy never lies. From her body posture to her tone, from the way she moves to the silence she keeps, every detail is a signal waiting for the calm, grounded man to notice it. That's the real value here, awareness. The power to stay present, read the room, and lead with composure. Because when you master perception, you stop reacting and start influencing. If you're ready to take this further, to learn the deeper Stoic principles and masculine psychology that create unshakable confidence, join the membership. Inside, we go beyond theory. I'll show you exactly how to embody this mindset in real life. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next video. Every day, we're building stronger men, focused, grounded, and in control. Thanks for watching, my friend. Stay calm, stay sharp, and I'll see you tomorrow.